Personally, I've become involved in the New Haven, Yale communities through my interaction with the youth. I feel like youth are the pulse of any city and community. They're the ones who suffer the most from things that are wrong with cities, and they're the ones that benefit from things that are good about cities. And so that's how I found my in New Haven, and fortunately, through various initiatives, both with Yale and outside of Yale, and that includes the medical school and other campuses, I've been able to interact with youth. These programs involve programs like H-PREP, which is a program that the Student National Medical Association and Boricua Latino Health Organization run here out of the medical school. They involve the Urban Improvement Corps, which is a program run out of the Afro-American Cultural Center at Yale College. And they involve various other initiatives kind of in the city at large. And so I found that's kind of been the best way for me to involve myself in the Yale New Haven community, and I've enjoyed it since I've gotten here. I chose Yale for various reasons. I think when I was evaluating my choice of school, I had to take a lot of things into consideration, both personal and professional. I think my being a combined degree student makes things, extra complicated in regards to what I was looking for. But personally, I did want to be relatively close to home. My family's from New York City. That's for family reasons and what have you. But for professional reasons, it became a lot more complicated. I wanted to be in a city, and I wanted to be able to serve people who were in need, and I think that kind of informs my clinical training. And so a medical school that didn't kind of interact with the patient population that I identified with, that didn't look like in some regard the patient population that I grew up with, I wasn't going to be attracted to. That was very, very important in my selection of Yale. The New Haven community very much resembles the one that I grew up in. Secondly, intellectually and academically, I wanted to be in a medical center that took medical training very, very seriously. However, I wanted to be able to interact with other parts of campus, other fields. I wanted a multidisciplinary approach to the way I was taught. And so Yale provided that. The main campus is not particularly far away. I was able to kind of, attend lectures in fields like anthropology and sociology, in addition to my very, very basic science interest, and infectious diseases is my interest. Fortunately, I was able to understand that clinical medicine is the product of a lot of different understandings. You need to understand people, you need to understand society, you need to understand economics, and in addition to the basic science understanding that I was seeking for my PhD training. So professionally, these were the things that I was looking for. In addition to that, I wanted a community of students who were, would push me, who were worldly, who were motivated, and were hopefully like-minded in some capacity. And I was able to find that here. Even better, I was able to do so with the Yale system of education, which encourages us to be curious and to branch out, to learn and study very, very hard, of course, take our craft very, very seriously, but at the same time, do so for the love of the knowledge itself, and with the hope that we were training a leader as opposed to just a physician. And looking back at my time here, you have to ask yourself, would you make the same decision? Of course, that's always difficult to answer because you tend to justify whatever decision you made originally. I can honestly report, however, that my decision to come here was a very, very good one, and if I had to do it again, I most definitely would. I wanted a diverse educational and intellectual experience, and that is exactly what I've gotten. I wanted excellent scientific and medical training, and I've gotten that as well. And I've also been able to kind of interact with the community in a way that's taught me, informed my future plans, prepared me for my future plans. I'm interested in pediatric infectious diseases, and I'd like to be in academics, and I'd like my work to kind of impact people both domestically and globally. I've been able to find a community of scholars here who've been able to inform that interest, and so yes, I would choose Yale again. Well, one of the pleasant surprises of my time here at Yale has not so much had to do with the Yale community specifically, but my involvement with the Student National Medical Association and the Boricua Latino Health Organization. At the local level, they collaborate on events because, of course, the missions and the populations that they serve overlap. I've been fortunate to be elected the regional director for Region 7, which is the New England region of the Student National Medical Association. And originally, I didn't quite know what to expect in this job, if you will. I managed 10 regions, 10 different chapters, of Region 7, and I sit on the National Board of Directors for the Student National Medical Association. In this capacity, this has really been a big addendum to my educational experience at Yale. The reason why I say that is because I've kind of learned skills like management and how to be a leader and leadership skills and these kind of things that you don't learn in the classroom, but I find to be critically important for the things that I'm interested in doing. If, for example, one is interested in managing a hospital or opening a clinic, or say, for example, you have an interest in politics, right? I've learned that exclusively through my time with the Student National Medical Association, and I'm indebted to the organization for that reason. In addition, the organization does wonderful things both locally and nationally. They sponsor these pipeline programs, as we call them, designed to target young people and increase the number of people of color and people from underserved backgrounds who are entering the health professional fields. In addition to that, they write policy position papers on relevant kind of topics, such as gun control, police brutality, and what have you. And with all that, it's been a very, very important part of my education here that I didn't quite know I was going to get, when I enrolled originally. So for example, the Student National Medical Association takes a hardline stance on gun control issues, for example, because gun control is a health issue and it disproportionately impacts communities of color and disadvantaged, financially, economically disadvantaged communities. And so the Student National Medical Association has a policy position paper that describes our stance on gun control. And of course, the stance is that there should be gun control because that of course leads to healthier communities. There are other such policies. It's a policy on police brutality, which of course is a health issue in communities of color. And so these are the things that I was surprised by, but pleasantly surprised by and encouraged by, that inspired me to kind of contribute and participate in the Student National Medical Association, both on a local level and on a national level. And I'm proud to have served as Region 7 Director. What I find so special about the community of color at Yale is that the diversity, both in terms of just kind of where people are from, but in terms of people's interests and experiences and what have you, is as great as the student body at large. And I found that I've been able to become enriched and learn things from them, in addition to all of my other classmates and what have you. You have students who were athletes, you have students who are from various islands and various parts of the world, and students who've been in the military and all these other wonderful things. So we're not a monolithic community at all. I think people, oftentimes misinterpret that about these organizations, that we're all the same and we think the same way. That's absolutely not the case, and that's in fact which makes the community here so rich and so wonderful, and why I'm happy to be a part of it.